Is because even if you are not experiencing the flu-like symptoms, you could still be asymptomatic and you
Mm-hmm.
could still be transmitting this deadly virus to people you love. So that's why we got to obey that directive. And let's get a Tamuning Mayor Louise Rivera on the show this morning. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
I guess just real quick, if you could take us back to this news that came out last night about the bingo hall, the Hafa Bingo Hall, which is in your village, correct?
Yes.
And so, were you at any time approached by officials from the administration or public health, the COVID-19 response team, maybe yesterday before this news came out?
None at all.
Not at all. Okay, so let's just talk about what I mean, that release came out late last night, what, like 9?
Yes.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
8 p.m. About 8 p.m.
About 8 p.m. So, let me just tell us, Mayor, what has your night been like on to this morning?
Well, it was really shocking, that they mentioned that, and especially if the dates were from March 6th to the 16th, because our center was still open, our senior center, and we have a lot of players, senior citizens that go to that bingo. Just even people around our neighborhood, because it's right there, it's nearby. It's next door to right in the village. So, they get a lot of patrons. And, a lot of times we see how we can help. A lot of times different people will call us looking for people, because we verify residency. So, we were thinking that, if we had known, like, I know there's the HIPAA violation about, letting out information on patients. But in this pandemic time, we need to assist public health in finding these people. So, again, we don't know if they went to Payless after they played bingo, or they were at different fundraisers that were going on, or just different meetings, get-togethers. So we've been. I would like to find out who these people are, so we can help public health find out more information on who their families are, and we usually know who patronizes different places. And so, maybe that could help. So it's a shock, and there's so many different bingos that we have. If you notice, like the different timings of the bingos, some people go from one bingo to another bingo. So it was very alarming. It is alarming.
And Mayor, so you're saying, had you been contacted or kept in the loop ahead of time? We don't know. We don't know when they got this information. It could have been they tested someone yesterday morning, and they were asking them, where have you been? And they said, oh, half a day bingo. So we don't know when they got the info, but the point you're trying to make is, had you been told, you could have assisted. Has public health reached out to you since that release came out for your help?
Well, the only public health individual that reached out to us was from the Division of Senior Citizens, and that is to help out with the delivery of food. Because even with that, I expressed concern that if, we are going from one house to the other, we don't know who has it, and then we give food to one person, then we go to the next house. We might catch it and then spread it on and on and on. I mean, we're doing what we can to stay protected, using gloves and masks and all that. And we've been asking for supplies, that wasn't given to us at all. So, we've been very lucky to be able to obtain some gloves and masks, but that's not enough. I mean, if this house was infected, if I know that, they're, these guys are gung-ho bingo players and always at different bingo parlors, we want to really arm ourselves, to when we're going there, to that resident. We want to give them hot food, but we don't want to contract anything, or and especially to spread it on to the other homes that we're going to go and visit. So, these are all very important issues, and even with all the different village chat rooms that I take care of, everyone's like really surprised, like, what, the mayor doesn't know? They depend on me for information.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's really beyond common courtesy. I would think that arming the mayors with the information allows them to go out into the villages and do things to help, do things to maybe plead with the residents. If they know, hey, we have a case in our village, you guys got to stay home. Maybe people start taking it serious. Yeah, Mayor, I totally agree. Not sure why you guys aren't kept in the loop. I know that you guys do have a representative at the Joint Information Center, right? But that rep maybe not getting any information.
I I know. I saw the chat. I'm on that chat too. How they mentioned that it was on the board. Later on, it says information shouldn't be given out. But we've been asking for this from the beginning. Was at least tell us what villages they are, and then they, Mayor Hoffman decide, well, you guys did it for the dengue. Why can't you do it for here? Because a lot of our residents are asking, if it's in the Tamuning area, okay, so we're gonna go to Payless and Mighty, not Oka because we don't, know. But it's just to help others, be aware, like what areas to stay away from because there's going to be emergency personnel all around, or even those that are supposed to be enforcing the quarantine and isolation. What areas are they at? Stay away from the area where we can even warn our children that are staying home. There's a lot of people that walk to and from the stores. We have 3 mom and pop stores on the quarantine area.
Right.
And it's a very busy area, many apartments and condominiums around, so families just walking to and from the store. We just really need to be informed.
Yeah, and it really is just surprising that since
I can't even I can't wrap my mind around it.
So just going forward, then what do you plan on doing today in terms of demanding this information? Are the mayors coming together and gonna do a Zoom conference call or what?
Well, we continue to follow up with them. We are on we still have an emergency chat with all the mayors and vice mayors and the Homeland Security personnel and governor's office. Yeah, so we assist like many of the marshals and different places, when they call looking for people. But I know that I have not been contacted in regards to anybody. So I was thinking, okay, we're safe, we're good. But then now that
blindsided.
How's your staff going to deliver the food now? You said that they didn't necessarily have any kind of protective equipment. Are they going to drop the food off at the front door, or how are you going to do this?
It's supposed to be a handover, and just be careful, extra careful, take extra precautions.
Don't breathe.
Make sure you stay
cover your face like that, yeah. Right? Because you just don't know. They have gloves at least?
We do have the plastic gloves, for them to use, and to make sure they don't take anything. It's just, I heard Mayor Hoffman saying, automatically people, they go and they in. Sometimes they just want a hug.
Right.
So it's always us practicing the hey, elbow or tap.
The air amen is what I've been practicing.
Yeah, okay. So we do throw air kisses.
Right.
Yeah.
Mayor, I'm curious, over the weekend, you have a village, a ton of businesses. How seriously were people taking this mandatory social isolation order in Tamuning, Tuwan, and Harmon?
Wow. It was so crowded, in different places. Still a lot of cars out there, people shopping. I got a lot of phone calls how, People were tired of staying home and they just need to get out, get some sun. So of course there was a lot of walking to food establishments as well. As the stores, there was people still, exercising, going to the beach, which is great. The sun is good for you. That's what we're hearing. Get a lot of sun, but just stay your distance. Stay away from other people. Be careful not to touch anything. You shouldn't. Make sure you always wash your hands and sanitize. But it was busy out there.
It was.
Still a lot of cars on the road and cars at stores. I was just like, wow, do these people not understand?
There's a little bit of mixed messaging with this order that came out. I personally feel, I'm all for businesses making money, but I feel like it was too lax in some ways. There were too many exceptions, and people kind of saw those exceptions and said, "Oh, I can go to Kmart. I don't even need anything, but let me just go stroll over there." And it's obviously people were driving around to see if people were staying home, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And we're getting, I feel like these mixed messages where you have, banks are open, limited hours, which means that there's going to be crazy crowds, everybody trying to go to these 2 banks or whatever that are open. And then you see it now. Today, the announcement came out that they're going to start accepting drive-through payments for power and water. So are we in a mandatory social isolation order, or are we not? Are we supposed to shelter in place, or are we supposed to go pay the power because everyone's worried about their power getting cut? Because I thought that we got a little breathing room when they announced the economic team thing. So apparently, I don't know if that's out the window. Are you guys now, worried about your water getting cut, your power getting cut, because you maybe been listening to what the government's been saying out of one side of their mouth? Out of the other side of their mouth, they're like, oh, you can go to the bank, you can go grocery shopping, you can go pick up food, you can go to the beach, you can go hiking, there's a lot of things you can do. And I mean, Mayor, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating because people are not taking this seriously because the government is wishy-washy. They're being wishy-washy, and God forbid by the time March 30th rolls around, because we weren't being strict enough, community spread is going to go crazy.
I hear you, and a lot of people call me up and tell me that they're messaging me, trying to find out what's going on, why this, why that. I wish I had all the answers for them, and all I can do is continue to get it onto our emergency chat to find out, can they do this? Is this supposed to be happening? Or, so it's just waiting for answers. And, I do what I can to tell people to stay in place, stay home. Don't be selfish. If you got it, don't just go out because you're bored. Please stay home. Get off the roads.
Well, I'll tell you guys, you can't die of boredom, but you can die of COVID-19. So stay bored, Guam.
Stay bored. That's
Mayor, thank you. Is there anything else you want to add? I know you guys are going to be very busy. Really want to give you a chance to go out there and get those. I mean, it's a tough situation. Manumku need to get fed. That's the bottom line. And how you guys do it, I mean, it's on you. Just, use the whatever you got to use. You got to wash your hands while you're passing plates out. I don't know what you got to do, but we definitely thank you and appreciate the work that, people talk about first responders. Well, this morning, the mayors, their staff, Department of Education, and so many other different stakeholders, they are first responders. So we definitely want to wish them the best. And
thanks, Mayor, for all you do.
Thank you, Bree, and thank you for calling me. But then, there's also, I wanted to mention about the businesses that are stepping up to the plate and putting out their platform, in regards to COVID-19. There are businesses that have sent me their plans on what they're doing, one way in, one way out, and they're monitoring, people that have been coming in because they need to, for different services. And then, of course, the grocery stores that are open, that are providing hand sanitizers and, disinfectant wipes, so that you can use it for the cart or, whatever you touch. Then there's even a store in the middle of the village, that put out sinks.
Right.
You
The
know,
Joy
that
Market.
put out- yes,
The Joy Market. They
That
actually
hand
they put a
washing
sink
campaign.
outside of the store.
Wow.
So
I
that
wish
people
this
can
should
wash
just be
their
the new
hands.
normal, you know what I mean? After COVID-19 ends, because it is going to
Yeah.
end, maybe we should just practice better hygiene all around.
Yes, I thought that was really awesome that they went out of their way to put out a sink, a wash basin, just for people to come and wash their hands. So we really appreciate them.
Well, definitely. Mayor, we got to run. We got to get John Fernandez on the line here and find out what they're doing with the meals this morning. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Mayor.
Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, be safe.
Adios.
Mayor Louise Rivera. Obviously, the mayor's